with the Appalachian Trail or any other big thing that you want to do in life, there's 1,000 reasons as to why not. I was too young, I would have to save a ton of money, where would I find the time, etc. But there was one big reason as to why, and it's because I wanted to. And with anything in life like that, you should always focus on that reason, because you'll always have those excuses as to why not, but always work on the reason as to why. My name is Ash Berger, and I successfully hiked the Appalachian Trail in 2015 at the age of 17. The Appalachian Trail is a 2,189.9 mile long footpath that extends from Springer Mountain in Georgia to Mount Katahdin in Maine. So I started planning the first semester of my junior year in high school when I realized that I would be able to graduate a semester early and have the actual chunk of time to hike the trail. And planning consisted of reading a ton of books, talking to people that had done the hike before, talking to people that were in the middle of hiking the trail, even doing different overnight camping trips to test gear and test myself physically, that kind of thing. So I didn't start at 20 miles a day, I started doing around 15, but I realized that I could do 20 miles pretty comfortably, and so I was hiking with some other fast-paced people too, and so I started increasing my mileage. I met some incredible people out there. I met a couple named Tortoise and Hare, Hare being the guy. The first day I met Hare, we had hiked 11 miles through about 1.5 feet of snow, and we were some of the first people on the trail, so it was awful, absolutely awful day. And so he gets to the shelter, drops his pack, says, "All right, babe, I love you," kisses his girlfriend, and then starts running back up the trail. And I talked to his girlfriend while he was on his run, and he had run every single day for the past 4 years and was not about to let something as silly as a through hike, something that small get in the way of that thing. So I hiked with him for a long time, and every single day consistently he would run at least a mile. It didn't matter if we hiked 0 miles that day or 30 miles that day. He always ran at least a mile afterwards. I met someone named Ace who was finishing his double triple crown, which means he had hiked the big 3 trails in the US, the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Crest Trail, and the Continental Divide. If you do all 3, that's called the Triple Crown. He was finishing up, he was on the very last trail of doing that twice. So he had done thousands of miles of hiking. I want to do the Triple Crown, I want to do the Continental Divide Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail. The whole thing was super fun. Man, the hardest part's the end. It's like when you're done, because everything's just, it's this moment of like, you realize you're done. That like everything you've been working for the past 4 months, literally, and then for the past 1.5 years is over. So getting off was definitely probably the toughest thing. There were days that were tough, but even in the days that were tough, they were some of the best experiences I've ever had. It was just so much fun. Every second of it was so much fun. Physically though, it was rough. Yeah, I mean when you hike 30 miles a day, it can be tough on all your joints. I almost drowned in a river in Maine. The current was really strong because of rain for the past couple days. Most places on trail, if there's a big enough river, the people around the trail are like, let's build a bridge to help you get across. But in Maine, when you come across a river, they're just like, good luck. And so you have to ford it. And normally that's not that tough. It's either ankle to knee deep with a slightly strong or a pretty weak current, and it's not bad. That day, the water was up to my waist and just rushing. So within like 5 steps, I was completely swept underwater and lost a ton of things that weren't secured to my pack. I got lucky that I was dumped out on the other side, but I was completely helpless. It was ridiculous. I could have easily drowned. I got very lucky. So that was pretty traumatizing. But so for background, the Virginia Blues. Virginia is the longest state on trail. It has actually a quarter of the trail on it. So when people are hiking through it, that's when a lot of people start to get bored, when the honeymoon phase of the excitement of the trail is over, and so you get kind of bored with it. And so it's called the Virginia Blues, and that's where a lot of people drop off. I didn't experience this at all. Virginia was one of my favorite states on trail. I absolutely loved every minute I spent in Virginia because the weather had finally turned for me and got nice compared to the sleet and the rain and the snow that I had all through the rest of the South. I was with some of my favorite people that I met hiking on trail, and we were together through most of it. And Virginia is an absolutely beautiful section. You've got the Grayson Highlands, with the only place on trail where you can see little horses which is a lot of fun. There's the McAfee's Knob, which is a really pretty lookout. Dragon's Tooth, which is this huge stone thing. I could go on, but Virginia was awesome, so I didn't have the Virginia Blues. I would not hike it again. I think there's too much else in the world that I want to go see, so the AT is under my belt now, and I want to go see what else I can do. Stay with it and know that the best is probably yet to come, and you've got a lot to look forward to.